This is my first time. This is literally my first time I'm actually recording from down in my basement, so this is gonna be fun.
Hello from in the basement. Are you? I think I read you said you're staying there until Sunday, right?
Yeah, I mean it's not
Just
that
to
we're
make sure, like...
not that we're. I mean I heard Friday there's a chance we could get storms, but Sunday's the big day we're all worried about. It's like.
Yeah, I've been keeping an eye on that too. Iowa might get hit again today, right around Greenfield this evening, which is really scary because they just had the EF4, like, what, not even a week ago, maybe 4 days ago.
That same tornado that, that Reed Timmer made that video about, that I think, my sister found that video, like destroying those wind turbines. It was crazy.
Did you guys all see that? Evan, did you see that? What Dusty just said, the winter, so the EF4 that hit Greenfield, Iowa last week, or earlier this week, I don't know, about 4 or 5 days ago. It ended up, well, as of right now, it's still classified as an EF4, but they might slightly change that. It won't go down, that's for sure. But it literally bent these wind turbines. Did you see the video?
Wow,
on it?
I hadn't seen that, but no, that sounds crazy.
I'll see if I can find it.
It's like at first it ripped the blades off and then knocked them over.
Yeah, it's like you look at these big like wind turbines and they stood no chance against this tornado.
No, the train's still here.
Oh, is a train in it? Yay! I haven't been in yet to this part, so I have no idea.
The tracks are still there, at least.
That's cool. I miss the wind tunnels. Do you guys remember that chapter 1, season 10, where you had the wind stream?
Yeah, it was also in season.
It
was also in season 9 as well, chapter 1.
Yeah, I was gonna say, I think they, was it 9 or 10? It might have been 9, I'm thinking
It was
about.
both, but it was, but 9 was the one, 9 was the futuristic update where they had like a fancy,
where it was like
neo-tilted.
Yep, I remember that.
That's where they were first
into the little floating islands that had like the wind, and the wind would pick you up, and then you could battle.
No, you're thinking of season 6.
No, it couldn't have been season 6. I didn't play then. I didn't start till 7. There was one in chapter 1, and it had like clouds almost, where it would, remember APL we used to play back then, where it would it would pull you up, it would like suck you up to it, and then you could jump off from it and open your, you could battle from there. Do you know what I'm talking about? It was either 9 or 10. It was around that time of Neo-Tilted, but not necessarily Neo-Tilted.
Wait, is this, are we playing Rumble or Squad?
This is just Rumble. Yep, it's Rumble. There's 5 of us.
You fixed my issue. Now I'm getting haste.
That's awesome. Nice job, Dusty.
Nope, sure thing.
I got to be witness for that. Nin still really liked the season of the mechs, but I didn't like that season. Those mechs would always kill me. Didn't you like those, Evan?
I hated the mechs. Yeah, they were season 10. I hated them.
Good. I'm glad I had someone else that hated them. Nin loved them. Ooh, what is Nitro Splash? What is Nitro Splash?
I think you put it on a car, maybe.
Because you discussed Nitro.
Nitro.
I apologize if I'm really quiet, by the way. I am really tired.
It's alright. I'm just happy.
Why is that?
Happy to be playing with you guys, and thank you again for the battle pass. I really appreciate that.
Let me know when you're going to start recording. That way I can mute my mic.
I started recording a few minutes ago.
Okay, then that's fine. Then I'm gonna mute.
Okay.
That's good.
There's nothing worse than seeing, my bestie not having, the parts that they love and they use.
It's like it sucked, but it's like,
Well, I know you would have.
Like that $10 could go to like food.
I know you would have. I know you'd have dealt. I know you'd have dealt with it, and I know that you would have been fine. But I also know how important that is to you, and I know how much you enjoy it. And for me, it's like, as somebody who can spend that, it's like, why wouldn't I? It's somebody who I love, and it's somebody who I really care about, and that person is also somebody who really likes the battle pass. So I'm gonna help them get it.
I I get it. I do the same when I
Oh,
can.
Blue, get those nitro fists. I have those. They're pretty cool.
What is it?
And you-
Nitro fist?
The repair torch is back.
The torch is back.
You have
Ooh. I
Not only
love
would you-
like I love seeing all the new stuff. Sorry, go ahead.
Okay, I was gonna say not only would you, but you also have done things like that for me, so it seemed only fair.
Yeah,
I wonder what the
appreciate
nitro fist does.
it. Well, I'd like to think you could crack someone across the head with it. That sounds fun, doesn't it? Oh, it is so cool. Try it. Have you used it? Jump and try it. Hello, Evan.
Hi.
Look at my arms. My
Oh, I
muscular.
did.
Wow.
Wow.
Look at you.
Look
Want to
at
see
you.
this? Watch.
So fancy.
And it shoots things. Whoa,
does?
look at this, Evan. Look. You can fly, sort of, with it.
That's incredible.
Do you see that?
I
Do you
did.
see me? Do you see me?
I did see you.
What do you
You
mean
see
you
me
can
now?
shoot, though?
You see me now?
You can't
Oh, look
shoot
at us.
stuff. You can
Look at our feet,
hit-
Evan.
You can punch, but
Oh wow.
The nitro
Did you see-
spray, it like puts your feet on fire.
ow.
But I'm
Did you see-
assuming
did-
in a good way?
Did you see my butt?
It's on fire, but we know that's just from the tacos you had earlier today.
Mm-hmm.
That's called natural gas.
Blue, there's storms coming. You might want to
We don't really have tacos here.
You don't have tacos here? Oh,
We
I got
have-
killed.
We have Mexican restaurants but no taco.
Oh, man. Alright, I'm on my way to Belgium to make you some
Oh.
tacos.
Wait, they have
Yeah.
these floppy things, the blow ups that way in the wind. I for-
That's because I think of that new guy, Peabot. Like, isn't there a thing of peas? Like,
Yep, Peabody.
Yeah,
he's
Peabody.
literally he's literally a
he's like a.
peas.
I almost just said a sack of pea, but that sounds funny. Like a sack of the pea balls. What do you call those? The
A
little
sack of
peas.
pea exists. It's called a container.
Have you? I'm assuming it's one of the skins. I have to explain.
Yep,
about
it is,
That
it
I
is.
have it. I looked this morning, but it wouldn't show me because it didn't have it. So I'm excited now to see it. You can see me in the corner. Wow, me and this guy both were shooting at each other for like 20 seconds. We are both bad,
Or
is
like
what I'm trying
20
to say.
seconds.
Oh man, I am rusty.
Oh, you can add stuff to your cars now. Like,
Oh really? Like
Yeah, just run into it. Yeah, just run into the
Like-
crates.
like pimp my ride kind of stuff?
I got a grenade launcher.
Cover hand can. Do you want a hand cannon? Evan?
Yes, I do. Thank you.
Okay, I just typed in 1 minute. I am so tired.
I don't know how to make it work, but
I'm the
You have to have a
pink mark.
passenger.
I'm the
Right,
pink
thank
marker
you.
on the map.
Pink. Of course you're pink. That's your color. 1 second.
Yep, the gay color.
Did you
I
hear
have
it
to
till
go.
Evan finally came out?
If you say
Wow.
so
Blue,
yourself,
there's a bad
Evan.
guy coming for you. Blue,
Check
get
it.
on.
Hello. Oh, this is so cool. I got you, Magic. I'm shooting people. Hang on, Evan. We're making our way through.
Evan is a baby gay.
He's a baby
Sorry, that
gay.
thing. Sorry, there's no more room in this car for you.
Evan, I'll make you a profile for some website so that you can meet somebody.
Don't shoot him.
Thanks.
For
I'm gonna shoot this
grinder.
guy. Yeah.
Hang,
You wanna
cannon,
shoot
please.
something, shoot the
Here.
thing.
Hang on, I gotta give Evan. There you go. It's just
you.
purple, Evan, but better than nothing. Oh, we got killed, Magic. I got killed. Evan, avenge me.
Oh
Okay,
no,
so
the
the
bad
map
guy's in
didn't
my
change.
car.
Am I seeing that correctly? The map has not changed, right?
The bad guy's in my
Slightly,
car.
just to the south is the new area.
Oh, okay.
We
The
need
bad
to
Oh,
learn gay culture for Evan.
Evan, good news. It's almost June. We can celebrate
Yay.
properly.
Almost 5 points.
I'm excited for my town's like pride parade. It's gonna
I
be
wish
really
we had
cool.
that.
Oh, our town gives out these signs that say and it's like they're the what do you call the one flag? The progressive, yeah. There's a progressive flag, and it says like Anna Cortez cares, and you can get those at the pride parade, and then they have like T-shirts and like what else do they have? Like flags and stuff they give out, and yeah, it's gonna be really fun. We have like
it's
a
in the
whole committee in our
capital
town
city.
that works. We have like a committee in our town that's like dedicated to this. I think that's so cool.
That's so cool.
Yeah.
Is it no capital city was last week?
What was that?
Pride March at the capital city was last week in
Ooh.
Brussels.
I'm killing that guy.
Well,
But
if
I
and
didn't
when
go
never
because
can
I was
visit,
too tired.
I want to visit during Pride. I have no idea what I'm doing with any of this, like, new items that you just throw. Like, I'm just throwing things. Jack Black says hello to everybody.
Oh, the
Hi,
Mexican
Jack.
kill.
He says, excuse me, it's Jack Black.
Hi, Black.
He's one of those cats that likes to go by both names. I could see Evan like that. Evan, if your name wasn't Evan and said it was like John Paul or like Michael
I
Robert.
thought of a name when you said that.
Like, I could see you having a two name. I could see you being two names, Evan, is what I'm saying.
Yeah.
What's the Coca-Cola doing?
Wait,
John
isn't
Paul.
that from Fallout?
Yes,
Yeah.
it is.
Ah, see, I learned something. Thank you, birthday team, for teaching me things.
You're welcome.
My Coca-Cola
Thank you. Oh my gosh, these gloves are awesome. I think I just
Yep.
got like
Oh, I
3 of
love
them.
them. They're my favorite.
They're my new favorite too. I'm just gonna wear them and be sassy
Yeah,
and
they're
just
probably gonna nerf them at
fly around.
Well, I'm not.
Anyone that
complaining.
complains, we're gonna beat them up.
No.
Get those clothes.
The American way. We don't like what you say. Oh, Evan, I had a really interesting discussion yesterday with someone, and
Yeah?
I was able to bring up what you have brought up about how about the emotional response to news and
Oh,
like
yeah?
what about the UK stuff. Yeah, it was really interesting. It actually really helped with what I was saying. So
Oh, good. I'm really glad to hear that.
I'll be right
Yeah, no
back.
problem.
okay.
Really glad that the stuff that I waffled on about actually was of some use to somebody, so that's really good to hear.
You are quite the
That's
waffler.
the first.
It is a first, you're right.
That's true. It is the first.
What's a chauffeur?
Is today Friday? It is Friday, right? Yeah.
It is.
What's
I
a
just-
chauffeur?
I want to ask something really off topic.
We like off topic. Go for it.
Yeah. There was a post that I made in a movies and TV channel approximately 2 months ago. I don't know if did any of you see that?
What was it
What I
about? I can
Those-
barely remember what I read yesterday.
Oh,
What was
just
it
look
about?
in just look in the channel. It's something very significant to me. You don't
okay. I'll have
scroll,
to.
you don't have to scroll up very far.
Okay, I can look here in just a minute. My when I play Fortnite, it's hard to pull. I can pull it up on my phone. Give me just a few minutes and I can pull it up.
Yeah, no worries.
Let's see. This channel I'm not in very often. Although now that I'm starting to watch more TV, I probably should. I'm gonna be falling asleep tonight. I'm working till 11 tonight, and it's so hard when I'm already
Jesus.
so tired. I know.
Wait, at your job, your full-time job that you've mentioned before?
Well, this is a newer one that I work in the evenings after Skade stuff,
Oh,
but I'm just
okay.
tired
What is it that-
today. Memes
What
and
is it
Where's
that-
it at?
What
Really
are you?
quickly. I'm sorry, 1 second. Where are you? What channel was this in?
Movies and TV.
Okay, give me just a minute here.
Where is it you're working? What are you doing for that work? If I may ask?
I'll talk about it actually after Dusty's done recording, if that's okay.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Yeah, that's
Oh,
fine.
no,
That's
no,
fine.
you're fine. You're fine. You're totally fine, Magic. Yeah, it's okay. I'd just rather, I'll talk about after that.
Yeah.
Let's see, TVs and movies. Boop, 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 boop. Scrolling. Here we go. Oh, this is your book you love so much. Isn't
And
this that you? Yeah, that's exciting.
I'm not kidding when I say I waited a 2-year waiting game for that book. And just last weekend, I was watching that with my mom. And oh my gosh, let me tell you.
It was on HBO Max. Is that where it was at?
Yeah, it's on HBO Max, but we have an Android box at home. So we just got it off of there.
Okay, I had Max, but I canceled it. But I think we still have it for like another 3 days or 4 days. So I'll try and watch it really quick before we lose Max. So that's really cool. Ready up, guys.
If you don't have Max,
I will be right back. But I'm ready.
Okay.
Look on Amazon Prime or Crave TV.
Okay, that's really cool.
I don't know if you have either of those subscriptions.
I have Amazon Prime.
Look on there. There's a good chance that it might be on there.
Okay.
But try HBO Max first. It will take you deep into a mind of somebody with those kind of issues.
Yeah, I looked into it when we were doing your birthday build. You had brought it up, and I looked into it then. In fact, the birthday team, we all talked about it. So yeah, it was really cool to learn about it.
This is a movie where it's similar to the book. You will laugh at a few points, and there's even 1 or 2 points where you might even cry.
Ooh, interesting. Very interesting. Yeah, I'm currently not even really watching anything.
I don't need that movie to cry. My life can do that on its own.
I just have to think about reality and I just start crying.
Yes.
One day, APL, one day we will have
Blue, you come over here. There's like a brick wall you can climb. It's like a rock climbing wall.
Where are you? There's Dusty.
May I ask
too late.
how May I ask when you were talking about it with the birthday team? May I ask how deep the team went into the digging with it?
Well, someone had already read it. I can't remember who it was, but someone on the team had read it, so they were actually talking about it and like telling us about it. And I think we did if I remember right, we did a little build with like the pixel of the book cover or something like that.
Yeah, it was a pixel of the book cover, and then the next year it was this rainbow mural of that author and a quote of the spiral, and then you go into the spiral maze.
Yep, I remember that. That's so cool.
I loved when you guys did that.
It's one of my favorite things, honestly, about the birthday team is we get to learn so much about like each individual skater, but then we also learn about like like I would have never had known about the book if it wasn't for your birthday, you know what I mean? And it's kind of like that with other stuff that we've learned too. I wish Evan was back because he'd be agreeing with me.
Yeah, no, seriously, you actually learned about my book just by reading about it from my questionnaire.
Yeah, see, this is why we love that you guys put in, in the questionnaire, like what you're into, because it gives us a chance to not only get to know you better, but it also gives us a chance to learn new things. Like we've come across new games that some of us play now because someone, in the birthday team, like someone had how do you say, like, they had put it down and they're interested in it. And so we learn about it, and then we're like, hey, this actually like sounds really fun, and then we start playing it. So yeah, it's kind of cool. There's some games and movies and books that I never even knew existed until I just went down this like grinder thing at the Nitro Dome. Have any of you guys been in the Nitro Dome yet?
I have. It's pretty cool.
I flew into the grinder part and I got really scared, but it's fine, I didn't die. But that was really funny.
Are you talking about the center?
The Nitrodome
I
is like the
jumped in it.
first area I landed in, funnily enough.
Oh my gosh. I
They
like
brought the
jumped in
cowcatcher
car.
back.
Oh, they did? Oh,
Yeah,
that's cool. It probably goes on the truck again, I'm assuming.
Yeah.
Oh, this is gonna be a fun season, I can already tell. I can already tell. And we have a new birthday team member, which is exciting too. Nash joined us.
Ooh.
Oh yeah, I know Nat.
So
Yeah.
Nash is great.
Yeah, he's a good one.
Mm-hmm.
I like talking with him.
Me too. Me too. Oh, and guys, don't forget, tomorrow is prom. Very excited.
Yeah.
I still need to have a skin. I don't know what I'm gonna do for skin.
I may have got confused and thought prom was today for some reason.
Oh, on Friday? It's been a long week, and Dusty, you got a lot going on, you know, with these storms. And it was funny because there's a storm chaser that I follow, and Brad Arnold. I don't know if you know that name from Ryan Hall's streams, Brad Arnold. But he was saying he has all this really great footage that he needs to edit.
Yeah.
And he goes, but I can't because every time I get ready to, there's more storms. He said, I don't think this season's ever gonna end. And I thought of you because I was like, oh, I'm sure Dusty feels the same way on that one.
Yeah, I'm just
like, will this ever end?
Yeah, it's just like I mean, I'm capable of preparing myself, like, if worst comes to worst, but everybody reaches a point where it's just, after they've gone through this enough times, they get, like, fatigued from it and they just want a break, you know?
Yeah.
Honestly, I don't blame you. I don't have that kind of problems around where I live, but when you think about like world events of 2020, that news around that stuff was just absolutely exhausting to me.
Yeah.
Like
2021, 2022, those have been pretty crazy years with world events.
Yeah. Evan, are you back yet? Evan's not back yet. Magic, there you go. That's what I was just about to ask. Magic, where are you at? There you go. Perfect. That was why I was putting the walls up, Magic, to keep them safe so nobody would steal them.
Weapons besides that. There's not many or anything. I see the Hades. I don't think the train. The track is still here, but I don't think the train is anymore.
Oh, that's Fortnite does that sometimes. They'll leave like the remainders of it, but not have it anymore.
That bad guy.
Kill him.
Kill him. They're gonna steal the good stuff.
Are they dead?
No, but there's not any good stuff anyway.
Well, we should kill him anyway. Did he die?
Shield. No, I don't think so. Maybe. I'm not sure.
Evan! Volky, do you want these nitro fists? Do you want them?
Oh, yeah. Everybody's dying to this. Dude.
Here, I'm gonna block.
Oh my gosh, they're so retarded, it seems.
Bad guy.
I'm trying to get away from him.
I'll use my nitro fist to defeat him.
Oh my god.
Ah! They're evil!
The same
They kill
squad, so, yeah.
We need to make up a middle name for Evan just so we can call him by both names, like, you know, John Paul or Mark Robert or whatever. What would
Evan Marie.
Evan Marie?
Yes.
I love it! Evan Marie! I love it. Evan Marie. I'm gonna change his name right now.
Aw! I got killed. It's so hard to kill someone when you both have the same weapon.
Yeah, agreed. Change.
Okay, there's a windmill.
Oh my god.
Evan Marie. There you go. I think that's how you
Yay.
What a beautiful
He's gonna
name
be
for a
confused.
beautiful boy.
He's gonna be confused.
Yep. It's a confusing time for him. I see these
Well,
notes that I don't see anywhere that you can
let's give him all the time to figure out his gender in this confusing time.
It's a very confusing time.
No, this person took the fist before I could get a marker on it.
Don't worry, Evan. It's called puberty. Everyone goes through it.
We all go through it, Evan. Some of us 2 times, 3 times, 4 times.
I haven't gone through it 2 times.
2 times. Alyssa had said that the second time was so much rougher than the first time. Oh, come back, sir. I was just gonna kill you. Why you run away from me? I was just gonna murder you.
Yay.
Oh, I'm tired. Sleepy people.
Especially me too. I got a headache.
Oh, I do too, a little bit. Had an aura this morning, and I hadn't had one in like 2 weeks, which was really nice.
You know, the misunderstanding this morning had me upset, and I got a.
Oh, that would have been it. But I'm really glad to know it was just a misunderstanding. Wake up.
Makeup. Have a little bit of makeup.
I've never
Still
worn
want the
makeup. I
dog.
wonder what it's like to wear makeup. I've never worn it.
I'm not a
fun.
makeup person, so I wouldn't be the best one to answer that. Even though I have some makeup.
I always paint my nails black.
Oh, I do too. In fact, just yesterday I was telling someone that I was like, I don't know what was I saying. I don't remember. It was something about colored clothes, and I'm like, you always wear black. You paint your nails black. You gotta have black nail polish.
I dye my hair black, but it's already black.
I've had friends.
I use black.
I like to dye
I've
my hair
had-
red, but I'm not good at taking care of my hair.
I have had fans complain to me that I wear too much black.
There's no such thing.
Mm-mm.
I
Especially
wear
when
a lot of
it's
black.
Especially
Black
when
and
it's a
blue.
purpley black or a red black.
I wear black, blue, and gray and green, and that's pretty much it.
I'd rather black and red.
That's because you like red. It scares me. I'm scared, man.
It's not that bad.
Mm-hmm. Yes, it is.
Oh, there's a crossbow. Interesting.
Makes me cry.
I didn't know the crossbows are bad.
Oh yeah, crossbows are awesome.
I wanna dye my hair
Especially when-
pink again.
Like Evan?
Yes.
Is that what you said?
No, I wanna dye my hair pink again.
Oh, pink again. I heard like Evan. I was gonna say, I don't think Evan dyed his hair, and you don't want to have hair like Evan. He's
No, he
for the
cuts it
fact that he
himself.
cut his own hair. Exactly.
I do that too, but it turns out alright.
Yeah, that's because, you know, Evan. He did that. He did the thing where he pulled his bangs up and then cut, like
Yeah.
forgetting that, like, you know.
He's not a professional.
Oh, it's so funny. I don't think I've ever laughed so hard as that particular call when Evan was telling us about cutting his own hair.
The bad guy's here. He's got the punchy fist, and he knows how to use it with me.
Aw. I'll punch him in the booty cheeks. Hold on.
Oh no, I have one up on this person. And it's only, so it's a close combat that's not good for when they're someone with the gun.
Yeah, but if they can, you can easily.
The guy that, anyone here see that documentary like years ago called Super Size Me? Where the guy ate McDonald's for like, Yeah, so the guy at McDonald's for 30 days straight, all meals. The only thing he was allowed to eat for 30 days was McDonald's, and he made a documentary about it.
I
Yeah,
watched that
he just
documentary a
passed
long
away.
time ago. Oh,
Why?
Like 10 years ago.
happened?
It came out a long time ago.
Why
yeah.
would he do that though? That's like.
He did it for like a social experiment. He had like labs done like right beforehand, and then he had labs done after to see how bad it really was for his body to eat so much like fast food.
But you know it's gonna be bad.
It was. But
Yeah.
it was like an experiment. Like he didn't live his life like that. It was just that 30 days.
I hope he got better after.
It was 20-something days in that the if you watch it and you see what happens 20-something days in, you will worry about him.
Yeah.
Don't
Unfortunately though, he got
it.
cancer. Like probably
Oh,
not
no.
related. Yeah, he just passed. I just read he just passed away. I was like, oh my gosh, I remember that guy. I remember that documentary. It was really good. Do you remember at the end when they? Do you remember at the end when they put like he put all the food in like the little glass thing to see how long it would take to like mold, and like McDonald's French fries like never molded, like ever.
Well, they do use a lot of chemicals on them.
Mm-hmm.
They have to because McDonald's wants them without spots, so they have to be decontaminated in a thing for months because they have to put a pesticide that's toxic, so they have to wait for the pesticide to go away.
If you want to stockpile on fries, you can go to McDonald's.
Yep, just eat them. They never come out. Evan doesn't like to be called Sweetie, so if you guys call him Sweetie, he'll love it.
Yes.
So
I would want one of those things that McDonald's has that they use to cut their fries.
Sweetie, come here.
I think they come pre-packaged and they just dump them in the fryer thing and then drop it.
I thought they used a thing where you push it through a apple cutter that looks like.
No, that's so In-N-Out does theirs like that. I think Five Guys does theirs like that.
I think there's like factories that actually like literally pre-make French fries, and I think the fast food places just fry them.
Yeah, basically they come in, if I remember right, they come in these like bags, and then they like rip the bags open and then they dump them in and they just fry them. In-N-Out though.
I like fresh fries more.
Me too. Yeah. I like taking potatoes and just using the, the cutter, like the, the thing you squish it down. Yeah. And making my own fries in the air fryer.
Oh, I got hurt on a mandolin once. Ugh.
How?
I got into making my own French fries quite a while ago, just because, well, my mom stopped buying the pre-made ones for whatever reason. I don't know. So I just be like, well, I'll just get into making my own, and I got it. Like I feel like I've almost perfected it, so that like at least I can make them crunchy like I like, which is nice.
The mandolin incident, that was, there was a tag covering the blade, like a wrapper covering the blade, and I'm like, ooh, what could possibly be under this wrapper? And I was like 4 or 5. I found out it was under the wrapper.
Well, oh.
A blade, and got my finger cut.
Oh no, that's not good.
And
I'm back.
Yay!
Welcome back, Sweetie.
Woo! I'm back.
Welcome back, sugar, honey, sweetie pie.
Why am I called Why am I called Evan Marie?
It's just a Sweetie.
So, sweetie, remember how you said I could totally see you with 2 names? Well, while you were gone, we decided to give you a second name so that you could be cool.
So
like
my
that
second name is Great.
Yeah.
Do you like it, Sweetie?
APL named you, sweetie.
It's great. Thank you so much.
Evan, have you ever been given a name that you just so question or so hate that you just so badly want to change it back?
Yeah, I was born with the name.
Pretty much all the time.
The water one, wasn't it the water one? There was one that we're like, uh-oh, if Mod Killer sees this, like, he'll never stop.
Oh,
what was it? It was something with water, wasn't it?
There was a friend I had. Her name.
Yeah.
It's
was,
like, so
like,
it's like
really-
you actually do hate it, but you just let it slide.
he
Just
doesn't.
Oh, no.
for-
He doesn't hate
No,
it.
I don't hate it. Of course not.
Um,
I just more like, I'm just like so like beyond the understanding of why I'm even called that. I'm just like, all right, cool. Another
Okay, what were
day.
you saying, Magic? Hold on, Magic
I
was
was
saying.
saying this girl I used to know. She got really mad when the Amazon Alexa started coming out because her name was literally almost exactly the same
Oh,
as.
yeah. I have that problem even with when I say Alyssa's name, my Alexa starts to listen,
Oh.
and I'm
Also,
like Alyssa, not
I don't
Alexa.
like my real name, honestly. My real name has so many other people
Let's-
have it. It's like
Let's give you a new one. What would you like it to be?
I don't know. My real name just so many people have it, and it's spelled so many different ways.
You can always
That's
change
true.
it.
I know. Yeah, I'm gonna change my name legally to Blue. I'm just saying. I want to, but
Do
Riley
it.
won't let me. She says no, Mom. But I'm like, but 90% of the people in my life call me Blue, so.
You've been
I've
saying that
changed
for like
my
you've been saying
name
that for
twice.
years.
I like your new name though. Like, I love Phoenix. It's so you. It's so perfect.
Actually, I had a friend that was, that in my last year of school, they wanted to be called Phoenix. They kind of told everyone to call them Phoenix. So.
That's because it's a
Popular
perfect name.
It's a popular name, apparently.
It has really strong meanings, and I think that's why I love it so much, and that's why I love it so much for APL, because, like, it means you're coming, the Phoenix comes from the ashes. They come from hard times.
Also, they're immortal.
Right, but they're like they rise above is kind of the main thought on it, and that's us. It's life, and APL has really done that in their lives, and so I could not have picked a better.
You know what
person
I
to have
wish
it.
I had was a singing voice. I don't have a singing voice.
Oh, I wish I did too. Not gonna lie.
I want to be a siren.
My girlfriend has a beautiful singing voice.
Ooh, Magic!
wanna-
Can we lure people to their death?
Yeah, that's. Or
I
just
know.
scam people into giving us stuff.
Okay, that works for me. Well, if I ever get my powers, I will make you have a good voice so that we can go around and torture people. So
I wouldn't torture people. I just like do inconvenient stuff. To them.
inconvenient. We're not torturing them.
When
It's
you
just
get the-
inconvenient to them.
Next chance you get, you should tell me about the. I'm interested in kind of like in the conversation you had, Blue, where you kind of used the stuff I was talking about yesterday. I'm really interested in how that kind of what that kind of conversation was about. So.
Well, it had to. Unfortunately, most of it I can't say because of politics. But you can imagine it had to do with how one particular candidate here is using immigration and the border as their main platform for their campaign.
Yeah.
And how it's no more different today than it literally was ever, aside from the one lockdown. And yet that has been used and manipulated to make people feel like it's like 100 times worse. We got to do something today. This person's not taking care of it when they're trying. But on top of it, it isn't much different, or if at all. And so I was able to use your example as how this happens not just here, but even in your
Everywhere,
country.
yeah.
It was a great way of being able to show that. And it made that person like go, oh, like maybe I'm also falling for that. So it was
it's
really
kind
cool
of-
how she said it.
I'm really glad to hear that. It's kind of and the other thing as well is like much of the political stuff we see nowadays is not different from what we would have seen 100 years ago. Like politics,
That's when I was born.
it's very complicated politics, but it's also very simple as well, right? Like there's formulas that have been alive since before our great grandfathers were born. There are certain strategies that
Like
just work, and so
great-great-grandpappy?
yeah, so they just work. You're always going to have this kind of it's like I was saying the other day. It's like, for example, people who complain about woke culture, right? Like woke culture has been alive for a very long time. I gave an example of how long it's been around for just recently, actually. Like I was talking about how
Why does it have to be a culture? Woke, like this whole woke thing is like thinking independently, thinking for yourself. Not,
it's not.
you know,
It's,
not
I'm more.
throwing hate. Like, why did we even
Well, I'm
have
not
to
talking-
make that something? That should just be normal, right?
Well, and I'm
You
not
know?
even. Well, I'm not even talking about that, right? Like, I think woke culture or woke stuff is characterized by a certain group as this kind of ultra sensitive. We're trying not to offend, and I think there's some issues with that. But realistically,
that's just part of it, though.
well,
yeah,
and this is why
that's
I
the
use the
part
example.
that some of us just kind of roll
This
our
has
eyes
been.
at.
There's
Hey,
an
I'm gonna
early example. This isn't even an early example. It's probably been
Yeah.
around since the beginning. All right.
You
This
can
has
use
probably
the
been
turret.
around.
See?
I see that. This has probably been around since the beginning of time, but one really early example of like a woke thing we can really point to is 1971.
Whee!
Hey, driver.
What's the driver? You want to play with us?
Wokeness and woke things in society, they have always been around. People are talking about it more now because it's more exposed because of social media. But wokeness has always been around. Like, and so one of the points I use to illustrate that point is look at the 1971 Charlie and the Chocolate Factory movie. It's not called Charlie and the Chocolate Factory. It's called Willy Wonka's Chocolate Factory. Why is it called that? Because they didn't want to offend people by calling it Charlie and the Chocolate Factory. Why?
Yeah.
Because in that era they were still the Vietnamese War going on. And one of the names that they would use to refer to the enemy was Charlie. I'm going to go and get Charlie. That was what they. Yeah, I do. That's what they called it. There's also a particular racial name. It was Master, and then that name would refer to somebody who was in power of people of a certain ethnic group. So to avoid offending people, and because the civil rights movement was a really big thing at that particular time period, they didn't want to offend. So rather than calling the movie Charlie and the Chocolate Factory, they purposely changed the name to Willy Wonka's Chocolate Factory. Okay. They purposely changed it to Willy Wonka's Chocolate Factory. I am. So woke things and wokeness has always been around. The difference nowadays is that we're more aware of it because social media is complaining about it more. 60 years ago, you'd read a newspaper article about how they've changed the Charlie and the Chocolate Factory title to avoid offending people, and we'd roll our eyes. And now it's made out to be a big problem.
Also, it's not that there's more woke visible, but the people who are against woke are way louder and more visible.
Yep, thank you. Yep, 1,000,000,000%. For every person that believes in like the things that quote woke culture would be, there's 1,000 of them, or I don't know, that'd be 10,000 of them. For every one person that doesn't think someone should, that should be able to.
Wokeness is just it's always been around.
It's such a dumb term.
It is.
I
don't
it's
really
so
care.
stupid because half the stuff they classify as being woke, I'm like, you mean being a decent human being?
Yeah.
Thinking that people have their... It doesn't make sense. I'm like, oh, is it so bad to want your children to think for themselves? Like
the stuff though that's associated with the negative stuff is more of what I'm looking at. It's like people go, oh, it's there's this new crowd of people who are afraid of offending people.
No, they're
It's
not.
like,
That's not even what I consider the wokeness side. At least the side that has been harping here.
I was more getting at the fact that people who complain about it act like wokeness or the stuff that we associate with wokeness is a new thing. I'm trying to emphasize that actually it's. Hang on.
Yeah. Go ahead, go finish.
I'm just trying to emphasize it's not a new thing. I'm trying to emphasize it's been around for generations and it will always be around. It's just that it's been given that name to be used in a negative light because the Overton window has shifted.
Well, those people like that shouldn't even be in I hate that they're even grouped into the wokeness side. I mean, it's like, no, things like pronouns, yes, you could say people that are woke believe in using the correct pronouns. But why does that have to be a bad, like, why group that in? I don't understand, because like we should all be doing that. If you don't like that someone else goes by something, that's good for you, but it doesn't,
I'm just using that.
Yeah, but that group, I know what group you're talking about per se, the sensitive group. I know what you're talking about.
I don't even care about that. I don't even care what they refer to. I'm more just trying to emphasize that people who complain that this stuff is a new thing are wrong. This has been around since before we were born, and I was using an example from literally the 70s as to say, if the equivalent the equivalent of woke culture of today would be them trying to change the name of a pre-established title for a series in order to avoid offending. Like, this stuff is always going to be around. It was around before we were born. It'll be around after we're born.
Yeah, you're right.
All the people who
I
complain
wonder
about
where
it are
this
simply trying
term even came from, if it's already just referring to people just being decent.
I first heard it come out of Florida, was like the first I heard it. And it was more in the whole, like, people that were, that believe in the LGBT community, that believed in using the correct pronouns, and they didn't like it.
So by that definition, we're basically all woke, like all Skade is woke.
Basically everyone. The only that's why I said it's really dumb that they even try to put that in a category, because it could just be being a good person, believing that if that person wants to, if a guy wants to marry another guy, that's great. That's up to them. Like, if it doesn't matter to me. Oh, I guess I'm woke because it doesn't matter to me. So
well, there's only one. Yeah. There's always only ever been one group that's kind of take the term and use it negatively. The term has been used. The term was originally described as a way of making fun of people who had advocated for equal rights or those
equal
who
rights,
were
women's
white
rights.
Yeah, it dates back as far as the 1930s.
That term does exactly? See, I didn't know that. That's interesting.
The wokeness itself, so woke, or the term stay woke, originates from the 1930s. It gained a lot of popularity in 2020 and onwards, which in 2020 onwards, it's more referring to almost any kind of progressive policy in general. But originally, the term was used to make fun of people who advocated for equal rights for blacks and whites, respectively.
Yep. So if you now add in the LGBT community, and that's basically where we're at today. And that's why there's some states that are like anti-woke, and I'm like, but being anti-woke means that you're anti-love, you're letting women be in control of themselves, their own bodies, and letting people decide who they want to love. And also, book bans.
I think
my daughter should be able to go to the library and get a book, any book. Like,
I feel like
the meaning,
I feel like the meaning of woke probably got lost. It's like people believe it's just a bad thing.
For political things. That's how it is.
And it's purposely, and this is the other thing, it's purposefully designed to be a nebulous term. You're not supposed to know who it's tied to. It's supposed to be just anybody who's associated with that word you think is negative. That's the point of it. The more vague and negative a term or a word is, the more it benefits the person who uses it, because you're going to hate a person who uses it.
And it's gonna want to make more people jump on the bandwagon.
Something funny did happen here. This has to do with that. I think, Evan, you already know about this, but so this week, one of the states had passed a law saying that you're not allowed to use pronouns, like, because they're trying to stop it's basically an attack on the LGBT community, is what it is, plus community, but what happens is these states are making these laws so fast, they're not taking into consideration what comes with that. So they made this law saying that you are not allowed to use pronouns in schools. And so you have the kids going, okay, Clark, I'm sorry, that's Mr. Clark. No, that's a pronoun. Or in books where it says he or she, the students are going to they're going to skip those words completely to make a point saying, you try to put down and bully this really small percentage of people that go by they, them, or in the LGBTQ, transgender might go by he, him, she, her. That's who they were attacking. But it's such a really small community, it's like 1% of the whole state actually does, that has the pronouns that they're trying to stop. But they made the law so fast that to just bully these people that they ended up making it so no one in the state can use pronouns. So technically it's against the law to say she went to the store. That's a pronoun. So
Yeah.
these things do bite them in the butt quite a bit, and every time it happens, I just sit back and kind
What
of
state
giggle.
was
Like
that in,
that's
if
funny.
you know?
I don't remember. I want to say Ohio, but I really don't remember.
Yeah. You know what I would use?
I don't remember. Louisiana isn't. Your state's in trouble right now. Magic.
Yeah. Oh, more reason.
Due to something they tried. They just due to some. They're trying to make it so every. Well, they didn't. They made a law.
Well, don't
every
say it's my state
classroom
while
has to have.
Dusty's recording.
Oh, I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I won't say the state. I won't say the state. Let's just say your state was not very nice this week, but that's okay. What state is right now, right?
Woke,
Right?
by the way,
they're all,
like
they're
woke,
all... Ready up, guys.
woke originally was referring to so in the 1930s, and originally it was supposed to be a term used to, the idea was you're woke, you are aware of almost like a way of saying you're awake, you're aware of issues in society, you're aware there is inequality.
So bad.
Well,
it's
certain.
Yeah, it's certain. I think it's like that they trying to push their own agenda to rally people.
But that's so vague that it's like literally any of us could fall under that category. Like literally any of us.
It was originally. All it meant, it was an African American way of saying you're awake. So rather than saying I'm awake, it was you're woke. You are woke to these issues. You are aware. You are staying woke. You know what's going on. You know the system's against you. You know there are problems in society. And then in the early 21st century, it's become more of a term used to refer to left-leaning politics as a whole. And it's used to make fun of people on the left entirely. It's purposely been used and manufactured as a term that means negative things, and it's just, I don't know. And this is my point again. Like when people like on certain sides of the political spectrum go, "Oh, this woke culture thing's this new big problem," I'm like, no, woke culture has always been around. Social media makes it seem dumber. Social media makes it seem like a bigger thing than it has been, but. Again, 1970s, you literally had people avoiding using certain names in movie titles to avoid offending people. Literally, this has been around for a long time.
That's crazy, and I didn't know that until you had told me that. I didn't even know that.
It's kind of, you learn a lot from history. It's like, most problems people claim are new problems.
This is why we can't get rid of history. Yeah, that's why we cannot get rid of history, and we need to continue to
And the problem is too many people forget about history and what people...
And then they repeat it.
Report as new problems are really just problems that have been going on a long time.
It's important to have it so we can learn from it.
Yeah.
If you see a person ever claim there is an issue in society that's new, I guarantee you it most likely, unless it's something that's very like exclusive to our technology, right? Like a new problem in society is social media making people feel negative about themselves. That's a new problem. But most things, if somebody says, "Oh, this thing is a new problem," I guarantee you it isn't. Humanity has been around for so long. Most problems we've already political instability. We've already dealt with it in some way. Most of the stuff that's happening right now parallels the 19.
We just tend to forget about history and tend to repeat history.
It's also hard because a lot of the stuff that we're repeating is stuff we didn't grow up around. So, if you were to teleport people from 1930s, Europe, and you brought them to today's century, they'd be able to go, whoa, 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 whoa. There's a lot of stuff here that's paralleling what happened in our era.
Yeah.
But we don't know that because we weren't born in that era. But again, most of what's happening right now directly parallels and is even in America is identical to what happened in the 1930s, specifically in Germany, when a certain party was starting to rise up and become quite a popular force. So all of history can be learnt from. I really recommend all of you learn. If there's any period of history I would really learn about and try to kind of be educated on, learn about 1930s history. That is where the attitude of people really shifted towards heavily right-wing, authoritarian ideology.
At least back when I was in school, my school taught us that. I don't know if this whole thing that's affecting schools has hit my school yet. Yeah.
My niece is in Florida, and there's parts of history that have completely been rewritten. Sorry, go ahead, Aiko.
Not to become political, but I'm scared history will make a repeat in Belgium, because in 2 weeks we have elections, and I'm really scared for the outcome.
Yeah.
Like, are you scared?
That's how I feel about America.
Are you scared, like, to the point of it possibly affecting your future?
Yes.
Wow.
Something else as well, and this is something I really want to emphasize to people. World War II was not a war against one man and the, the persecution of an ethnic group. Okay, I know that came with World War II, and we did fight against that.
Ideology.
But I want to make something very clear to everybody in this call. World War II was not a fight against that. It wasn't a fight against Germany. It was a fight against fascism. We were fighting the ideology.
Yeah, because there was also like the one in Italy that was going on.
Yeah.
Too.
Well, so here you go. There you go. Actually, it's a very, very relevant point. So in 1930s Italy, a new ideology was created by somebody. I won't say his name, but he created an ideology called fascismo. Which is basically far-right authoritarianism. There was a certain person in Germany who really liked that idea and really liked that ideology, so he also took it on. And most of Europe was starting to become a very fascist, very far-right authoritarian landscape. It was becoming the normal political ideology. It became very normalized. There were only a couple of countries that opposed it and didn't like it, and that was England and France mostly. World War II was not fought on us fighting, anti-Jewism or fighting one man with a moustache. It wasn't that at all. It was us fighting against fascism. It was us saying fascism is a horrid ideology.
Yeah, and also
more harm than good, and we need to get rid of it.
Well, not that this has to do with Europe, but there was also the war, like, between the U.S. and Japan that was part of World War II.
But if you look at today, fascism is on a rise, and we can't do much right now about except keeping protests, and then maybe educate ourselves to educate others.
Yeah. I wanted to say something when I was talking about Siren Song. I would definitely use the Siren Song to get like a bunch of people to donate to a GoFundMe for me, so I could leave.
Yeah,
me
we can
too,
probably
Magic. Me too. Add me.
Yeah, but yeah. If anybody, but we're often taught World War II was us versus I can't say the name unfortunately, but it was us versus the so and so's. And it wasn't. It was simply a war that was trying to crush and end the spread of fascism, and that's essentially what that seems to be really rising up again, especially in a lot of parts of the world. Is this kind of, and it's clearly the pendulum has shifted. People want a more authoritarian viewpoint. People want a more far right thing. A lot of people think that there was just this one evil party that just consolidated power and boom, you now had countries like that. And although that's partly true, it doesn't make the full picture. A lot of people, most people in the 1930s liked the idea of fascism. They had nothing against it. It was the popular ideology. It was the one that benefited people.
They probably had no idea what was actually actually happening to a lot, especially all those Jewish people.
That's the dangerous part.
It was the popular thing, and that's the point, right? People didn't know any better, so for them it was great. It wasn't until after World War II, when we defeated the spread of fascism, we realized, whoa, fascism was actually this horrific thing, and the only people who knew about it before us were the people who died from it. And anti-Semitism during that era, it was horrible, but I want to make something clear. It wasn't, fascism wasn't. It was singling out Jewish people, but fascism will do that to any ideology it disagrees with. It happened in that era, it happened to be Jewish people, which is why you had that group. But it could have been anyone.
Trying to do it again.
Disabled
The group is attacked again.
Yeah.
They tried it with disabled people. They tried it with LGBTQ people.
They tried it with what they call. They tried it with people who lived in caravans. I can't say the name because it's considered a slur, but there's a name for people who live more rurally and don't live in houses.
Are you talking like gypsies?
Yes, that word. Yes.
Why is that a negative word? That's not a negative word here. Why is that a negative word?
It's not a negative word here either, but there are certain countries that consider it offensive. So I try not to use it loosely. But yes, it was
really?
Gypsies. In Germany, gay people, disabled people, Jewish people, and gypsies were persecuted. So it's. Although, like I said, that Jewish people were arguably the biggest victims of World War II and that era, they weren't the only victim. So that's why I say that World War II was not a battle against an ideology trying to defeat Jewish people. It was a battle against an ideology wishing to persecute any group that they deemed incompatible.
Yeah,
so
pretty much anybody who even remotely fell under that, tried to probably left Germany if they could, pretty much.
Yeah, but the 1930s Italy and here's the other thing. World War II started because a pact was formed between Italy and Germany, who were both fascist countries. They both agreed with each other, they both had the same attitude towards the world, and they wanted more land. Wow. So when what?
Nothing, go ahead.
What's up?
Nothing. Go ahead.
Oh,
I was just talking. I mean, I was just making a noise. I wasn't saying.
Oh, okay. Sorry. So when they both wanted to spread their influence and gain more countries and more territory, and unfairly force other countries to adopt their viewpoints, that's when England and France said, "Hold on a second, you can't do that." We told them, "Okay, if you sign this treaty, we won't attack you. Just don't invade Czechoslovakia." Those countries invaded Czechoslovakia, which kick-started World War II. Nowadays, you have people who go, "I don't understand why we attacked, why we even fought back against it, right? Who cares? We should have just left them be." We fought against it because it was a horrific ideology. And if you look back in history, this is interesting. There are pictures of people in America who were protesting against the involvement of World War II. You had Americans saying, well, Germany didn't attack America, so why are we attacking them? And the reason America did that is because it's what was right. It was the right thing to do. It was the right thing to help Europe stop the spread of a terrible ideology which was persecuting people and wanted to victimize anybody who was deemed inferior. That's why America fought for that. They fought for what was right.
They're damaging my car.
So, but you had even...
Just kidding, I died.
But even in the 1930s, you had people who were like, well, fascism isn't affecting me, so why do I need to care about it? Well, you need to care about it because...
I'm telling you, we're repeating all of this. We are literally repeating all of this currently. So
I don't understand people like that. I understand, if it's something you have no control over, why, worry about it, but if, but I don't get, I don't give anything about those people. It's not me, so why should I care? I don't get that attitude at all.
They do care, but the group mentality is to act like nothing is happening and people give in to peer pressure.
They do, and that's the biggest problem.
Or manipulation, because those ideas will be given with, well, if you either brainwashing and manipulation by saying, well, so you're okay with XYZ, and no, I'm not okay with XYZ.
It's also...
So you get put into this, I guess I have to be okay with it, because I don't want to be known as whatever the thing is they're making the other side look bad
I also don't think enough people...
Murder.
I also apologize, because you guys have to hear me ramble, but one other thing I want to point out is I don't think enough people in today's world understand how close World War II actually was. People think that World War II was this great battle where we defeated the evil powers with no problems at all and everything went great. We could have easily lost that war, like so many different times.
Yeah.
The only reasons we won that war is simple.
And
The Germans so the Germans had a pact with the Soviet Union, and which would have formed the biggest, most powerful military in the world. It was an easy fight. There was no way we were going to win that. There was no way. We could have fought, we could have manufactured all the weapons, all the troops. We were going to lose that. The only reason we lost that war are two reasons. One, because the Germans betrayed the Soviet Union and tried to invade them, which meant the Soviet Union realized, okay, well, now you're an enemy. Now we have to fight back as well. The other reason that we won is because the Japanese tried to get involved and they bombed an area of America, which made America go, okay.
We basically knocked them out while they're down with the first atomic bomb.
Yeah, so, well, World War II, in my opinion, wasn't won when that happened. It was won when the Soviet Union invaded Berlin. The Soviet Union, people don't know this, the Soviet Union won the war. They defeated Germany. They were the ones who made that final push.
One more if we could.
Ready. They made that final push into Berlin. They are the ones who defeated Germany. Now, Japan were a threat, and they were part of the main powers of people in World War II, and America did a great job dealing with that, but they weren't the biggest threat in World War II by even a slightly long shot. They were a very minimal power. They were an inconvenience who were trying to kill Americans, and they had to be stopped. But they were if Germany was this massive threat, Japan was this kind of inconvenient thorn that was going to hurt some people.
Yeah.
World War II. If Germany hadn't enacted Operation Barbarossa.
The time when the attack on Pearl Harbor basically made America. It's like, oh, we're going to war with them now.
That is the only reason America joined.
Yeah.
Here's the thing, though. But even if Japan hadn't attacked, though, or even if Japan had attacked, the real reason we won World War II is because of Operation Barbarossa. The Germans, they have a pact with the Soviet Union. Barbarossa. The Germans have a pact with the Soviet Union, so the Soviet Union aren't against us, but they're certainly not with us. So Germany is able to freely attack us without any issues. But out of nowhere, for literally no reason whatsoever, the German forces are told, okay, by the way, you now need to start attacking the Soviet Union, arguably your biggest ally in the entire war. So the German forces turned on the Soviet Union and started attacking them, and that was a massive failure. Why? Because of the winter. In the winter period, as the German forces were pushing to the east, it got very cold. Their tanks started seizing up. People started dying in the snow, and they kept saying, hey, by the way, great leader of Germany, we're literally dying here. Maybe we should hold off the invasion. And he said, no, keep going, keep pushing. They all died in the snow. So the Russians, or the Soviet Union troops, who were specially trained to deal with the cold, were able to push back the Germans.
Yeah.
And after that invasion, they realized, okay, great, so now the Germans are not on our side anymore. We can no longer trust them. So the Soviet Union agreed to help England and France defeat Germany, and that is why we won World War II. If Operation Barbarossa had not been enacted, if the Germans had not decided... And it was
talked about that, like, America could have won its war against Japan without the atomic bombs, but it would have been a very more
it would have taken longer.
It would have been a bloody battle.
It would have taken longer, and more life could have been lost, but it was not needed.
Yeah.
But again, World War II was a very, very close fight, and there were so many instances where we could have easily lost that war, and Germany could have been in complete control of the world. It was Operation Barbarossa, which is why we are here today, because they betrayed their biggest ally, which was the Soviet Union, and the Soviet Union, realized, okay, we can no longer trust Germany, so they became a part of the Allied powers. They joined England, and at the time, France was a puppet state of Germany. So the only country at one point in the war that was fighting against Germany was England. So it wasn't even really a world war. It was more like the entire world against England, and then they betrayed the Soviet Union. So the Soviet Union joined in the fighting with England, and then after Pearl Harbor, America helped us defeat Germany. But if none of those things had happened, history could have played out very differently. So, you know,
Yeah.
World War II was a ridiculously close fight, and it wasn't as glamorous or as epic as people think it was. It was actually, the odds were heavily. Yeah, they were stacked. The odds were stacked against us. We barely won, barely.
And in the war, nobody really wins.
I was just gonna say that, but in reality, nobody won because it's war.
Yeah,
people died.
Yeah, it's war.
It changed people's lives. Yeah.
Arguably, though, the Soviet Union were the victors of that war. They were the ones who gained the most land. They were the ones who were able to help us. The Soviet Union, Americans aren't taught that the Soviet Union are the reason why Germany fell. They were the ones who made that final push. You know, there's nothing worse than telling people
we didn't
that
even join in the war in Europe until what, like 1943 or so?
Yeah, it was 1944, and some people also don't know this. It was actually eventual President General Dwight D. Eisenhower who led D-Day. He was the one who enacted Operation Overlord, which was the final push in France to liberate France and make that final push towards Germany. At the time, Dwight D. Eisenhower, he would eventually become a president, but at the time he was a war general. So he helped plan the invasion of France and push back the Germans. He started the Normandy landings, and Dwight D. Eisenhower's military planning really helped us in that. So, yeah, he became a president, but before that he did something much more significant, and that was he helped fight the war against fascism.
Yeah.
And then the Soviet. But at that point, Germany was being attacked from two opposite sides. They had America and England attacking them.
I can agree with Blue's statement. It's like, I mean, technically the West, the West won that war, but at the same time, a lot of people died. A lot of people lost their lives.
My granddad's twin brother, died in World War II.
Yeah.
People died. People had to be they had to leave their home countries to seek safety.
Any war, nobody wins.
The most annoying part, though, is the country that started the war had the least casualties. It was, I don't remember which country it was. I believe it was England had the most casualties out of all of the countries. No,
England.
Actually, no. My apologies. It was the Soviet Union. The Soviet Union had the most casualties. Germany, the country that started World War, the most. They had the most people who died in the war. The country that had the least casualties was the same country that started World War II, which was Germany. They had the least out of all of them. The Soviet Union had the most, mostly because of the Battle of Stalingrad, which is it is considered by historians to be the most horrific battle in all of history. Essentially, there was a city in the Soviet Union called Stalingrad, and that had upwards of 2 million forces fighting in that area. And it was a major fight. It was really, really intense and very bloody. And that was a very critical sector that they had to defend, and they were able to in the end. But yeah, World War II was a very intense time, and it was very close, and it was closer than.
I don't consider myself a history buff, but I'm still fascinated by history.
Yeah, there's lots of interesting periods. I think World War II is one of the most interesting because of just how all of the attitudes that led up to that, all of the things that created that, and arguably it was World War I that created the events of World War II. It was the results of that. You wouldn't think it, but the results of World War I planted seeds that would lead to World War II.
And
our unfair treatment.
Well, everyone's told that it was the assassination of one leader that caused it, but I've been told that it wasn't or something like that. Yeah,
well,
it was a bunch of different. Yeah, it just has.
Well, I think my school taught it as yes, the assassination kick-started the war, but the ingredients were in place for the war to happen before that.
Yeah, go ahead, Ib.
World War One actually left its impact on Germany by Germany having to pay off its debt from World War One.
We treated
and
them
that's what,
very unfairly.
and that's how the seats for World War Two were placed, because Germany was getting poor.
Yeah,
and the people didn't like it, and they blamed it on the Jews.
It's also, well, here's, and this is the other thing, right? Is World War One's result actually kickstarted everything that happened in World War One.
Yeah.
In World War One, every single person said, "Yep, it's Germany's fault." World War One was not started by Germany, even remotely. Well, Germany were a participant in the war, and England did fight against them, but Germany had nothing to do with the start of World War One.
I feel like in general,
they were just.
I feel like in general, though, like these wars never have one cause. It's like a bunch of things coming together.
No, there's millions. But like in World War One, so after World War One had ended, we all unanimously said, "Yep, it's Germany's fault. We now need to give them debt." But we told Germany they have to pay major prices for a war they didn't even start. Like prices that we knew they could not pay off. Germany was poor at the time. The Weimar Republic, which at one point was what Germany was, they were dirt poor. They had no money. They had hyperinflation, which was essentially... Let me give you an example. During hyperinflation, there was so much money, and the money was so worthless, people were building furniture out of banknotes. So imagine if you built a couch out of the US dollar. You just had so many dollars in your house that couldn't even pay for anything. You literally built a sofa out of them. That's what it was like for the average German. Like Germany was in a horrid situation. So when one man said, "Guys, I can do this. I can literally rebuild the glory and honor of what Germany was 20 years ago before World War One. I get it. You guys are in an awful position. It's this ethnic group's fault. It's Jewish people's fault. And by the way, I have the solution. I can do this. I can fix it. I've got this." Right? He amounts a lot of power, and his power is consolidated. He declares himself. His party doesn't win the election. He comes second place. He declares himself the now absolute leader of Germany through a legal loophole, and now he's in charge of Germany, and he now decides, I want Germany's influence and its glory to spread to every other nation in the world, and I need all this land to do it. So he decides to invade countries. He decides to invade Czechoslovakia. We go, hold on a second, you can't do that. World War II starts. That's the timeline of events. If we hadn't indebted Germany that badly, there wouldn't be political unrest. That political unrest wouldn't have led to people trusting this man. That man wouldn't have gained or consolidated power, and Germany may never have started World War II. Yeah, history is complicated and very interconnected. It's very rare you're going to read about a historical event that wasn't influenced by another historical event that wasn't influenced by another historical event. Nothing.
That's what life is. Life is a reaction to another action to another reaction.
Yep. Exactly. It all is. Everything that happens. Nothing that's happening in politics right now just happened out of nowhere. It's been caused by something previously. It's something that happened. It's a situation. It's the same with everything. World War II didn't just happen.
It's kind of like the butterfly effect.
Yeah, it's exactly like that. Nobody just decided, you know what we need? We need a war. We need a second World War. We need to literally just start fighting until we all die. It happened gradually, and it happened with a lot of different factors. Welcome back, Luke. We were just talking about how the situation...
It's funny how, like, it's like the fallout, basically, or whatever, or it's like the end, like the aftermath of World War II kind of created World War I, sorry, created that, like, a situation in Eastern Europe that, like, ultimately ended with the start of World War II.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, the events of World War I led to the events of World War II.
Is there a grappling hook with the Mecha Fist?
I don't know.
I don't think so.
I don't think so. I'm still discovering it though, so.
Because I keep seeing.
Jesse, have you used the gloves yet?
No.
Oh, it's over.
Evans literally been talking. All this time you've been gone, Evan's been talking my ears off.
I know. I came back a little bit. I was talking and I realized, oh shoot, I'm still muted. But
yeah, I think I'm gonna go because it's time.
Yeah, I do have to. Yeah, I've got to go. Got to get ready. My dad's gonna.
I love these conversations, but it's kind of hard to play games at the same time.
It is, but it is good combo, and it's so classic Skade. So yeah, you want to do your outro, Dusty?
Yeah. Thank you all for watching. This has been me, Dusty Circuit, here with some more Fortnite Friday with Skade. Then again with the first day of a new season. If you liked what you saw, leave a like, comment, share, and subscribe. If you want to see my next videos, be sure to hit the bell for notifications. Peace out.
Peace out.
Coming to you from the basement today.